Hello, hello. Good morning. Welcome in. We are here. I uh I know I skipped off Tuesday. I just wasn't feeling it, and then I never followed up by doing a makeup show. So sorry about that. Sorry about that. Hope you didn't miss me too much. Um, it's Jesus is Dead Day. He died yesterday. He's coming back tomorrow. We've got one day in between. Um, that's probably sacrilegious. Okay, here's the story. Here's the story of today's nonsense. A year ago, for Easter. Hi, welcome in. Um, a year ago, for Easter, someone posted a meme, which was a package of marshmallow Peeps, those little uh, marshmallow chicks covered in sugar, that was edited to say they were all brown, liver and onion flavor. And the reactions were all, oh, gross. Um, my reaction when I saw it was, yes, yes, that can be a reality. We can make that happen. And I've had that in my back pocket since then, waiting for today, waiting for now. So that's what I'm making. I'm making liver and onion marshmallow Peeps. The marshmallow is the part that I'm cheating on a bit. I'm also gonna try making. I have a recipe for this, and I screwed it up yesterday already because I didn't get it in started until late. So we'll see. But baguette, because I need something to eat the Peeps on, because they're not going to be just having a mouthful of liver is a little bit much. I'm going to try making baguette. And to that end, last night I started dough. This is a starter dough. This isn't the full dough. Now, I don't know. I got some recipes pulled up, but they are both a little. Tyson, you're first. No one can ever take that away from you. You're forever first. Let's get over here. So this is the baguette starter. And I'm already being moistened. I don't even have a glass out yet. Thank you for the moisten. Mm, moist. I am here. I am causing blasphemies. Um, so this, as I was saying, this is yes. Well, it's gonna happen. You can't stop me. You never could. This is baguette starter. So the recipe I'm following. It's called classic baguette. Um, and you make a starter dough goo and let it rest at room temperature for 14 hours. Now this has been resting at room temperature for 10 hours because I noticed the resting time a little bit late. And to balance it out, I added a little bit extra yeast. So this might not work at all. Because I don't think that's how bread works. You can't just add more yeast to speed up the process. Um, but it has been resting for quite a while. Um, it Needs to do more resting and also baking and also, ugh, ugh. There's a lot going on here, and I hate how this recipe is written out because it's got all the pictures in between every step, so you can't just read through it. Um, I'm calling you out, King Arthur Baking Company. Don't put pictures in between every step of your recipe. It's annoying. Um, but since this needs to do some more resting, I'm going to put the rest of this guy together now before I move on to anything else. For that, we need warm water, not hot water. Which I'm just judging with my fingers because you want it to be a little bit warmer than body temp. So if it feels just a bit warm on your fingers, that should be just right. Come on, water, be good. Okay, that's good. We need 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons water. I don't know why it's set like that, but sure. One cup plus 2 tablespoons. This is why French cooking is terrible. This right here. One cup plus 2 tablespoons warm but not hot water. Yeast. Lots of it. That one. Three of these of yeast. There's already yeast in there, but we want even more yeast, which I'm going to add to the water to help it wake up. Because it's chilly in the fridge. Puts that yeast to sleep. We need, and this is why I've got the scales out. 400 grams of flour. 420 grams of flour. That's the meme number. That's the drugs number. That's coming up too. 12 days. I should do something for 420. What day of the week is 420? It's a Thursday. Nice and convenient. Big old scooper. 420 grams. might end up transferring this all into a larger bowl as well, because I feel like it's going to get big. What the heck? You no doubt cannot see the scale, but it did one of those things where it jumped several grams after I stopped pouring. I could make munchie. Ooh! I could just make fun munchy stuff. That's an idea. So there's our flour. We can now put the scales away temporarily. I think I'm going to need them for the liver part as well. And some salt. And that's it. There's no... How you can tell it's not an American recipe is there's no sugar. American bread recipes always seem to want to use sugar to wake up and speed up the yeast. Which, oh, and 2 teaspoons of salt, which I'm mixing into the flour. They always seem to want to use sugar to speed things up, whereas this is a French recipe. Although I think it's a cheater's French recipe because this has been waking up overnight. So there's no extra sugar. The yeast just gets to eat the flour. We're definitely going to have to put it in a larger bowl. Fortunately, I have a larger bowl. I have the large glass bowl, and I've also got the very large... You know what? I'm not going to use the large glass. I'm going to use the very large steel bowl. This recipe will be making 3 baguettes. So I'm going to use the big bowl. The big bowl doesn't even barely fit on the camera. Let's give that a scrape down already. The yeast is trying to stick to the sides of the... Oh, that looks terrible on the camera. It's so shiny, reflective. And then all of our starter, which is itself just yeast, water, and flour that I put together last night and has been slowly working on itself overnight. And then we mix it together. Wooden spoon time. So yeah, this is... the recipe says make 3 baguettes. So we will be making 3 baguettes. So while I've got a couple of you and I can talk about it, well, first of all, you may or may not notice, I did finally get some emotes done. There are some new emotes. And another one of the emotes has been moved around a bit. Now I just need ideas. But I was thinking of coming back tomorrow for Easter Day to do an Easter thing. Okay, those are all of our ingredients. Put it in a mixer. We don't have a mixer, so we're doing it the old-fashioned way. Yeah, those are some of the new ones. If you've got any ideas for other emotes, I know I need to make a tiny whisk. But I was thinking of coming back tomorrow for Easter Day. Wouldn't be a morning; it would be a afternoon to make like an Easter dinner. Because I found lamb shank. Okay. It says soft dough. The surface may be a bit rough. Place in a lightly greased bowl. I'm going to end up using all of my bowls on this. We might have to stop and do some bowl washing. Lightly greased dough, cover and rest. And that's why I'm doing this first, because there's a resting period, and then while it's resting, I can do other things. Let's put a dab of oil in this bowl. Now, it said I should knead this for 4 minutes, so I guess we'll do that before I move it into that bowl. But have the bowl ready. It's definitely a little sticky. and getting stickier as I work with it. Ugh. I'm glad they have pictures now. I'm sorry, King Arthur Flower. Uh, I derided your pictures, but now I'm glad they're there so I can compare. And mine is a little. Well, I guess it looks about the same. Except that theirs has a stand mixer hook in it. Mine has my hand in it. Come on, come on. It's definitely a sticky dough, and I'm worried if I need it any more, it's just going to start gluing onto everything it touches. So we're popping it in the oiled bowl. We're cleaning my hands off. We should check on the. I forgot to thaw out. I've done this before. I forgot to thaw things out ahead of time. So I've got some butter and some chicken livers in the sink, floating around in some water. Ugh. Ugh. And that's why I don't use the big bowl very often. It doesn't quite fit in my sink. Okay, so that's our ball of dough, which I will cover in plastic and set aside. It's a big bowl. It's going to have to go sit in our photo station just to be out of my way. The house isn't that cold. What do you mean, cold house? I've got my heat on. For Christ's sake. Plus, the starter was proofing overnight for 10 hours. But let's jump over to part 2. Well, I guess we'll find out together, won't we? Okay. Part 2. The part in which we have chicken livers. Haha. There they be. Are they still icy in the middle? They actually are still icy in the middle. I put them in the fridge. Again, I got them in a little bit late. I'm not gonna lie to you and say I got them in at the right time. I should have put them in on Thursday probably to make sure that they were fully thawed. I had them floating around in water here for about an hour, but it's a big chunk, so we need another bowl. Well, get them out of there. No, this is too much. Oh, and there's a bit. Wow, it's really frozen in the middle. I'm surprised at how frozen it still is in the middle. Huh. I can't even get one off the surface. It felt squishy when it in the container, but it's super frozen. Come on, break up. Okay. Okay, so this is your basic chicken liver. They come in. This one's icy. Um, they come in these two lobes. Warm my fingers up. And there's gnarly, a little bit of gnarly connective tissue that sort of holds them together. And you don't want that in your finished product, so you snip it off, and then the rest of it is this nice, soft, like part of it is really nice and soft. That's what liver is supposed to be like. This nice, soft texture. The frozen bits of this are a little bit of a problem. Now, I was planning on making just a set of 4 Peeps. So that would leave me with some extra liver that I got to figure out what to do with. Bookwoman, you don't like chicken liver? Granted, they don't look the nicest at this stage. Let me weigh them out. Ounces. Sometimes I hate these recipe things. Pound of chicken livers for that one. I've got various references up. Um, one of them just blocked me out. New York Times needs to get over itself. Needs to get the heck over itself. Okay. About 5. Fortunately, with livers, the connective tissue is very obvious on account of the liver being this dark red color and the connective tissue being this light, stringy stuff. So it's easy to spot and remove. And the liver itself is so soft that it's very easy to pull it away. Oh, sapsucker. That seems very early for a sapsucker. I've got a bird story as well. Mine's not current because I'm not looking out my window. But last night, I was my neighbor was out grilling, so I was out talking to him and enjoying delicious grilled foods. And a very large flock of swans flew over while we were there, while we were sitting there. That was exciting. Uh, okay, we're supposed to chop these guys up. I've separated out about 6 ounces of the livers. And we're going to chop them up. Yeah, this time of year, it's tundra swans. You'll see big flocks of tundra swans passing over, headed north to their nesting grounds. Later on in the summer, we lose the tundra swans and we get trumpeter swans who settle into the marshes locally in pairs to nest. Right now, I would be surprised to see a trumpeter swan. Although with the weather so weird, they might show up early. Okay. Our diced up liver goes back in its bowl. Our bloody board gets in the sink. And our remaining liver goes back in its container. I will have to work out what else I want to do with it in the future. can include it in whatever I do tomorrow. Okay, now here's a thing that I've never done with livers before, but I've been told, and I'm going to do it this time. It's you soak them in milk. I'm having liver and onions today. You're telling me I have liver and onions 2 days in a row? That's weird. So soaking them in milk is supposed to pull out some of that livery metallicness. Make them a little bit less strong. I probably should have rinsed those in water before I threw them in the milk. Oh well, too late now. Okay, part 2. Ugh. Ugh. New York Times, why have you done this? Earlier today, literally this morning, I was looking at this same recipe with no problems. Now, the Times wants to force me to subscribe to see their webpage. Thankfully, I know how to break their thing, but it's annoying to have to break their thing. The next one. Just clean that. No, I don't need password. I broke their thing. Technically, I have my own password. I just don't know where I put it. My tablet is logged in, but my PC's not. I picked up another giant shallot. It's not quite as giant as the other one, which was the biggest shallot I've ever seen. But I want quite a lot of shallot for this. So I got another monstrous one. Interestingly, this one looks like it was just one lobe of a 2-lobe super giant one that got split up. Shallots typically come as a pair. Inside their skins. So I am not following the recipe for this anyways, because the recipe would have me start by searing off the livers and then add the shallot to that. I want the shallot to be more prominent, and I want to caramelize it. So I am slicing it thinly, but not mincing it. You know, we're using quite a lot, because I'm going for liver and onions, not just liver. And in this case, the shallot is my onion, but... And also, Peeps are sweet, and if we caramelize the shallot, it'll bring out the sweetness and get us closer to the thing that I'm shooting for. I am using the wrong knife for this, definitely. But don't worry, I'm doing a lot of things wrong today. The whole project is probably wrong, which is why we're doing it today on Jesus is Dead Day. It's the day when no one's watching. Okay. Oil. This recipe also wants me to use oil, which is not what we're going for. We're going for... Oh, see, when I've made liver and onions, I have fried the onions, but not caramelized them. Selena, yes, we got a couple of new emotes, including lurk, for people who want to lurk. This is also a fancier kind of butter. It's Land O'Lakes, but it's extra creamy, which means that it is the fat content of the European standard of butter, which is higher than the fat content of the American butter, which seems backwards if to typical sensibilities. But the European butter, it's just butter, but it's 82% butter fat, which is the European standard, versus I forget what the American standard is, but it's slightly lower. I will look it up. 80%. So it's 2% fattier, which doesn't seem like a lot, but whatever. It was literally on sale, so I grabbed it. Nothing's mixed into American butter. They just don't. They have a slightly different standard of refinement. So unsalted butter, which I'm going to let melt, and then I'm going to add salt to. I'm going to let it melt. I'm going to throw the shallots in there. We've got it over. We don't want to brown our butter. We don't want to brown our shallots. Here. American butter is 80% butter fat. European butter is 82% butter fat, and on account of that is slightly softer and easier to spread. I believe there's just the 2% difference is water content. And then there's Irish butter, which is slightly fermented. But yeah, so it's not a lot of difference, honestly. And I wouldn't have gotten this if it wasn't on sale. I would have just gotten the regular butter because the difference is so minor. But there you go. I'm not an expert on butter. I do love butter, though. Let's see. But yes, I've got new emotes. I'm I'm almost thinking that the lurk might be too squashed down. It's really just barely peeking over the edge. I thought he was cute, but when I made it, it was this big, and then when you upload it as an emote, it shrinks it. Um, we can go back and edit him. If I'll ask you guys, because you're the ones using it. Although I can use it as well, but is he too squashed down or is he just right? Since we finally got approval from Twitch for instant uploads, I can go back and tweak and go back and tweak without having to worry about it getting stuck in a filter for 2 months while they review it. Um, he's he's almost like an underline. He's so small. Okay, there's our butter. We are adding our shallot and some salt to draw the water out of it to help it caramelize. And I put him as a follower emote because so that anyone can come in and lurk freely. Uh, see, that's clean. It's just wet. So well, if you're happy with it, then I'm happy with it. So I will leave it. We can be happy with it together. It's been 25 minutes. I'm gonna go peek at my dough. Needs more time. Um, this recipe from the New York Times actually does not have me soak the livers. That was the different recipe. We're hybridizing them together. Um, what else do I need? I should get my things out now. Okay. Here's going to be a thing. I have a lemon, and I want to add a little bit of lemon zest to this. But I may have had this lemon for too long. It's hardened off a little bit. It might be hard to get the zest off of it, and the zest might not even taste like anything. So I guess we'll see. I also don't have cognac. What do you think is a good substitute for cognac? Good for cognac. Any brandy. I don't have any brandy. Bourbon or rum? I don't have. I don't think you quite respect how hard this lemon has gotten. It's a rock. Let me review my liquor cabinet for what I've got that could stand in here. Oh, that's just a dribble of that. I guess I'm going to use that because I just need a tiny bit, and I've just got a tiny bit of this. Yeah, the lemon's hard. I said it didn't look like it did anything, but boy, it hardened up. I've got just the tiniest dribble of rye whiskey here, which isn't going to have the sweetness of rum, but since they said bourbon, we should be able to adequately substitute that. I'm going to see how much I've got. Things are falling over. So yeah, I've got a fossilized lemon. I might not be able to get any zest off of it. We're going to see how much of this I've got. Don't worry, we're not drinking it. One tablespoon, which is the exact amount that I need. So amazing. And that's not enough for a drink anyways. So wow, that's fortuitous. So yeah, the lemon's a little bit fossilized. I admit it. I held on to it for too long. I bought it when it was a cheap lemon, and I didn't use it. Now look at me, in need of a lemon. Everything is kind of resting right now, so we are going to take advantage of that. And you can hear the sink draining. And I'm going to put away some dishes. You guys don't need to see that side. We're coming over this side. So if you've never caramelized onions before, it's a long, slow process of cooking them over a gentle heat and gradually drawing the moisture out. So that the onions, which have quite a lot of sugar in them, they are, after all, a storage for the onion plant. doing it this way expresses the sugars and slowly caramelizes the sugars, and it turns this lovely brown color without browning. You don't get those crispy brown edges. You just get this gentle browning. I'm going to add a dash of water, and I also turned the heat down. Now this is French cookery. Long, slow, tedious French cookery. So we want to get these guys browning over. They're already really tasty. Browning over low heat before we get anywhere else with them. Ooh, another moisten. I shall wet my whistle. Moist. Oop, there's my other water glass. Okay. I have been gearing up for the growing season. We're supposed to be getting a week-ish of weather nice enough to put plants outside and leave them there. 70s during the day, 50s at night. Which means that even some of your delicate plants won't suffer at night. I'm planning on moving everybody outside. I have also just started some seeds, but I wasn't expecting the weather to turn quite so nice quite so fast, so they are not ready. They are not ready to go outside yet. But I've got all my herbs. Most amazingly, my herbs made it through the winter more or less intact. One of the thyme plants suffered at the last moment, and about 3/4 of it appears to have died off. But the remaining part has rebounded and it is looking okay. So it's not completely dead. But I'm starting. I know I've discussed this. I don't remember if I discussed it on stream or not. One of my neighbors had planted red shiso, and it sort of volunteered itself into the alley and into parts of the yard. But it kept getting mowed off, so it was really, you couldn't get much from it. So I saved some and went to seed, and I saved the seeds, and I've got the seeds now starting, but they haven't sprouted quite yet. What else do I need? This one wants to use thyme and marjoram. I've got marjoram. I've got fresh thyme, so I'm going to go cut some fresh thyme. Because as I just said, I've got some in the garden that's ready to go. I don't have any marjoram. I don't grow marjoram. I don't really... Off the top of my head, I can't think of the flavor of marjoram. And even smelling it really doesn't... I never reach for it to put it in things because I don't know what it tastes like. I only put it in when a recipe that I'm following specifically calls for it. Because I don't know what it does for the food. I should read up on it. I should learn about it. We're taking the leaves off of some thyme while the shallots sizzle away behind me. Let's poke them around to make sure they're not... Yeah. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. So they'll gradually go from white to yellowish to brownish as they sit there and sizzle, which is exactly what we're looking for. Nope. I've been told that English thyme, like this, while it won't, the top part won't survive outside here in the winter, if you plant it in the ground, it will rebound year after year from the root. I had assumed that it would not pull through the winter because we have rather harsh winters. But now I'm curious and kind of want to stick it in the ground and see if it does do that. See if it do that. Shallot thyme. Quite a bit of marjoram. Cognac. Lemon that may or may not be zestable. We're going to try. And shallots. Now here's another thing I'm changing. This one wants me to put in butter and cream when I blend it together. I want to make this fluffy. I want to make this like a marshmallow fluff. Oh, you planted thyme outside. Well, keep an eye on it. As I was saying, I want to make this nice, light and fluffy, like a marshmallow. To that end, I will be making a a liver mousse is different from a dessert mousse in that the liver mousse is all blended together, but I'm taking a tip from the dessert side of things, and I will be whipping. I'm going to make whipped cream, and we're going to fold my liver mousse. Wow, this camera really wants to blow out. We might go back to that black sheet for a while after this. When I put something here that's not shiny, it's fine. What was I saying? Whipped cream. I'm making a savory mousse in the style of a dessert mousse. Um, when you're caramelizing onions, here's a trick I learned from internet food personality Adam Ragusia. If you're caramelizing onions and you're worried that they are dried out too much and are going to start browning, just add some water to the pan. Uh, the water will prevent the temperature from going over the boiling point and will give you more leeway to slowly, and as long as you cook the water off, you haven't impacted your caramelized onions at all. In the beginning stages, and what you're trying to do is slowly express the water that's in the onion itself. Let's set my ingredients aside. Because it is time to check in on my dough. Ooh, it's poofed up. It's real shiny. Everything is all blown out. Let's hold on. Let me see if this looks terrible if I ugh. I wish I could set it to 4.5. Hmm. I don't know about that. Here's our dough. It's gotten bigger. So at this stage, we're supposed to fold it to the middle. And punch the air out a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip it as well to keep that pinched bit at the bottom. I've never made baguette before, so I don't know if this is going to work. We might end up with not baguette. But we're we're definitely going a little long today. I'm going to warn you now. We're definitely going past noon today. Because this needs to go back and rest now again. And then there's another rest time at the end. Oh, God. Okay, well. Baguette takes a while. Mostly resting time. Uh, okay, well, at this stage, we're shooting for 1 o'clock, I think. Check in on our shallots. It's it's definitely achieving the consistency I'm going for. This sort of wet paste where the onioniness is kind of breaking down and they're really sort of mushing together. I knew this was going to be a project. Fox sparrow. I haven't seen one of those in ages. Ages. I could try warm oven. Let's see if I can't get some zest off of this lemon. I need a better light. What I need is a better light. It smells lemony. It's just kind of dry. I've essentially made dehydrated lemon zest here. Well, the oven has a warm setting, so I just set it to that. But also, it did the thing it was supposed to do in the other room. So I don't know that I've got a problem with it not proofing. That should be plenty. I'm going to get rid of this. Well, honestly, I don't think it needs to go in the oven at all for proofing. I think we're fine to just do it in the other room. Okay, we've zested our lemon. It worked-ish. Well, don't what? Wait, what? What are we talking about? What's being discussed? I'm lost. Oh, well, okay. Don't need to be so exclamatory about it. Okay. We're definitely on course for really jammy caramelized onions. Caramelized shallots, sorry. As you can see, they're quite a bit smaller than when I started. And they sort of form a goo. They're forming a goo. I think it's going to be fine. It's going to be edible. Whatever happens, it's going to be edible. Whatever happens, it's going to be edible. We've got another rest period after this anyways, so. Let's get, oop, get my face in there. Let's get our livers back out from their pink bath here. I'm going to rinse them off. I'm going to rinse away some of the milk. What the heck? They are very slippy. Wow. Why are you so slippery? I was not expecting it to instantly slip out of the bowl here, but they're mega slippery. Don't worry, I didn't lose one. But almost. But almost. They're trying to escape. I should put these through a sieve. Appetizing. Just think of it as strawberry flavored milk. except instead of strawberry, it's uh, meat juice. Ooh, boy, they're leaking all over the place. All right, I've got a leak of meat juice that I have to quickly capture before it gets everywhere. I hope soaking these things in milk actually has good results, because it's a bit of a hassle. And we're going to rinse them off now as well. Cold water, please. Gentle cold water. Okay. Okay. Livers are wet and rinsed. There they are. Our chicken livers, demilked. They're less intensely red than when I started. I think they might be oxidizing a little bit. My shallots have not turned that deep, dark caramel brown, but I think you only get that with, like, white onions. So I am going to pull the shallot. You're in the wrong angle. We're going to pull the shallots out. So as I don't burn them. Additional butter goes in the pan. No sense in being shy about the butter at this stage. Get in there, butter. And also the temperature goes up, because now we're going to cook off our livers. Which reminds me, I need to get the blender ready, because the livers can't sit around very much. Liver likes to oxidize. Which gives it a off color and off flavor. Okay. just about to start. Always forget to keep an eye on that. Um, but the livers are in the pan. We don't want to overcook them either, so we got to keep an eye on this. Uh, Sear on one side. Add the herbs. And I am pulling an audible right at the last moment here, right when I shouldn't be doing such a thing. And I'm going to throw in, because normally this is when you'd add the shallot. But we have caramelized shallot. But I'm also going to add some regular shallot that has not been caramelized. Oh, and this one does not want to get out of its paper. This is not the time for this shallot. I was just going to mince you up real... Damn it. Why? Why this now? Ugh. Shallot, get out of your paper. What the heck? What the heck? That first one was so easy, and now because I'm doing this at the last second, it's just being a pain. Come on, come on, come on. Fucking, sorry. Sorry. Oh. Oh, I'm going to overcook the livers at this rate. That was supposed to be just a quick, easy little thing. But no! That shallot had to be the kind that you can't get the skin off of. Of course it did. Heck. It's okay, it's okay. I did turn the heat down before I went over there. We got it, we got it. This is why you don't do what I just did and you get you all of your mises and plus before you start. No, 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 I don't need onion powder. We did it. We got it. We're there. Supposed to go until the livers are firm. Okay. Ugh. Okay. I've got half a shallot that I do something with later. Clean up a little bit while those livers finish off. Throw away this fossilized onion, or not onion, lemon, and all the onion skins. Okay. No, we're there. We got it. We made it. We did it. We did it. I did it. Okay. Add the lemon zest. Add the alcohol. Okay. Okay. Cook until the alcohol is almost entirely gone. And the pan looks dry. Transfer to the countertop to the blender. I don't have a good angle on. There you are. The blender. We're going to add our caramelized shallot to the blender. And we're going to add our hot livers to the blender. And we're going to add more butter to the blender. That's the end of the butter phase, though. You will not be able to see this. Maybe. Puree. Oh, I hate this blender. There's something I need. I need a different blender. This one always gives me trouble. It always manages to form a little cavity underneath there. always manages to cavitate whenever I'm doing anything with any amount of thickness. And we're getting there. This is not a wretched concoction. Don't you dare call it. Welcome in. This is the base for Marshmallow Peeps. This is how Marshmallow Peeps are made. Cavitating again. Okay, I'm giving this. I was going to not put in as much liquid, but it needs some more than it's got. So we're going to add some heavy cream to it. Just to lubricate it. I hope that's not too loud. It's definitely loud. But, Warder, I hope you like Marshmallow Peeps. Who am I kidding? Everyone loves Marshmallow Peeps. And knowing how they're made just makes them that much more delicious. Okay, adding that little bit of cream in there definitely helped lubricate our concoction. I hope you're not feeding your cats this. This would not be good for cats. Let's give it another. Okay, I think the noisy part is over. I hope that wasn't too over the top loud. It was very loud for me. But I think we've got it nice and smooth enough. Smooth enough for the next phase, which is... Ooh, I need to rinse out my sieve. Or I could use this one. We're going to use this one. It's too large, but it'll fit in a bowl. We're going to use this one because it doesn't have crossbars in the bottom. And my other one has the crossbars in the bottom, which is going to get in the way. Get some water in that other one so it doesn't harden up. Okay. Unplug your blender. Take your stuff out of your blender. Get your scraper ready. Because of course we have to drive this through the sieve in order to make sure it's not got any lumps. We're gonna definitely cut myself. I'm not going to comment on what I think that this looks like at this stage of its evolution, because it definitely looks like something. Ooh. Ooh, it tastes really good. Makes me want to lick my fingers. Makes me want to lick my fingers, which means I should wash my hands because I just licked my fingers before I touch any more food. We've got to get the remainder out of... Okay, I did just lick my fingers to taste it, and I've made a chicken liver pate in the past, and the problem I had with it was that it was too strong, it was too livery, so I ended up only eating some of it, and then I sadly discarded a bunch of it because it went off. I never got around to it. This stuff is already head and shoulders better than that. It still tastes livery, but it's a much milder. Am I even going to get this through this sieve? Yeah, it's coming through the sieve. Okay. So we're forcing it through a sieve in order to make sure there's no lumps or bits of excess connective tissue left. Also, any stray stems from the thyme. Anything like that, to ensure we have a nice, smooth, resulting paste. You shouldn't do this with a large sieve like this. You should be doing this with one of those ones that's a cone. Yeah, washing this is going to be fun. We're gonna, we should be, but there's a tool for this, and it's those sieves that are like cone shaped, because you can force everything to the bottom of the cone and then push it through from there. And they have less surface area on the outside for the stuff to stick to, which is what it's currently doing on this one. I don't have one of those. I have a smaller sieve, but it has crossbars at the bottom for structural support, which makes it harder to scrape the bottom underneath off of. So I'm not using that one. Because there's most of our liver mousse right there on the outside of the thing, because it's, of course, very, 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 very sticky. There's definitely some loss in the process, and not just the lumps. We lose some of the smooth part as well, just because it sticks. It's because it's so sticky. Okay. Okay, that's gonna be a delight to try washing. But we've got our finished this stuff. What time is it? Oh, it's almost time to go check on my baguette again. Let's get out another scraper and scrape that off. Okay, so this stuff will start to oxidize quite readily. For storage, for pate, for liver, you're supposed to make sure there's no air touching it. Now, I'm not storing this right now, so I'm not going to do that. But if you weren't going the next step that I'm going for this, which I honestly, if you want to try making this, it doesn't look nice. It looks like a bowl of poo. But it tastes really nice. So if you wanted to try something like this, I would say make that and stop there. Stop at that stage. And honestly, you probably didn't have to go do the sieving phase. That makes it fancier, but if you don't have the right kind of sieve to make it easy, I wouldn't say that it's necessary. But like I said, we are on baguette time. Now it is the time of baguette. Turn the dough out onto a greased surface. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun to clean up. Coming back with my dough, and I will prove to you that it was fine because look. Look at how much larger it has become. We gently turn it out. A little bit of webbing in the middle there where the seam didn't quite close. Let's see, I'm going to need my tea towel. There is another resting phase coming up. I'm going to need that handy. So, take your dough ball and divide into thirds. Set the first two aside, grab one of them. Now there's another resting phase, but we're flatten, fold to the center. Oh. Flatten. Fold. Flatten. Fold. Try to keep it from forming too much of a tail on the end. With the seam side down, cup your fingers and gently roll the dough into a 16-inch log. I don't have a ruler, but that's probably just about right. Let's do it again. So, flatten, fold to the center. Flip it around, flatten, fold to the center. Flip it around. Okay. Following the directions, instead of just thinking I know what I'm doing, is definitely important here. This one feels better already. It looks better too. Less lumpy on the surface. Sleepy. Flatten. Fold to the center. Flip around. Flatten. Fold to the center. Tuck the tips in. Flip it around. Flatten. Fold to the center. Flip it that way. Form into a log. Grab the first guy. Flatten. Bring our end tips in. Okay. I went back to the first one because I got better as I was going and wanted to go back and correct that one. So I guess we'll find out if that was wise or not. And I'm also actually going to do the same thing with the middle one, but only with, I think, one more pass on it. Now we're doing two, so I can get the those end pieces enclosed. Oh, I forgot to flatten. They're all slightly different sizes, but that's fine. That's what makes them rustic. Okay, set this bowl aside. Is this hot still? No, nice and cool. Okay, I'm going to move us over to the stovetop for room because I oiled up my counter. And I want you to see this part. So you get out your big old sheet tray and you get out your big old towel. And then you make a little bed. Let's, before I make the little bed, grab my flour, because we need to flour this thing so they don't adhere directly to the thing. That was not a success. That was not a success. Whatever. Get some well, I just made a mess. Do it with my hands. Do it with my hand. Flour a towel. Retrieve a baguette. Place in the center on the towel. And make a little bed for your baguette. Take another one, place it next to it on the towel. Make a little bed for your baguette. We didn't get this side very well floured. Or this side. And finally, make a little bed for your baguette. And there we have our baguettes in their final rest. So they're going to go rest back in the other room again. Open to the air this time in their little... The French name for that is a couche. Okay, and then they rest. This is the final rest before they get turned into bread. A couche. So we'll see what they do. We'll find out what they do together, because I've never done that before. Let me clean my hands off. Damn, there's going to be a lot of cleanup today. A wee bit of cleanup today. But we're not done yet. Oh, actually, before I do that, we're going to have to wash this down with soap, but in the short term, I'm just going to reduce the oil a bit. This is one of those situations where it would be nice to have a butcher block to work on. because you're supposed to gently oil those sometimes. So having a little bit of oiling on the surface would be no big deal. This laminate countertop is not the same deal. Okay, now here's where I deviate from any known recipe that I could find. Whipping cream. And full-sized whisk. Ooh, I haven't whisked in a while. Too early to preheat my oven. I'm thinking ahead now. I'm trying to think ahead while I'm doing this. We also need to think about decoration. I've got a... Actually, where is my piping bag? I've got a piping bag. That may or may not be too narrow for this. Actually, I might just end up using a plastic bag for this. Because I want a very, very, like, fat pipe at the end of it. So, we've got a minute while I vigorously whisk. How's your morning been? Bookwoman's been updating us on various birds showing up. You can see how my morning's going. I made brown goo, and now I'm making white goo. And we're going to mix the brown and white goos together. But I love to hear about your time, your day, your morning, or afternoon, or night, whatever time zone. Ooh. haven't done a whisking like this for a while. Hoping those baguettes come out good. I've got a game group this evening, and I would love to bring the extra baguette to share. Playing with cats, drinking coffee, darning socks. I've never darned socks. I usually discard them when they start to develop holes. Although I've been wearing a ton of socks lately. Because I keep putting on socks first thing in the morning, and then when I take them off when I get dressed, and then I forget that I have only worn them briefly for the morning, and then I end up pulling out a fresh pair of socks. So I've been going through a lot more socks just because I'm being foolish. Not that I'm ruining the socks by doing that. The morning is just mostly sitting around in them. I don't do a lot of things first thing in the morning. Although lately I've been waking up with the sun earlier and earlier. Today not so much. Today I was hoping I was going to wake up. Yesterday, last 3 days, I woke up with the crack of dawn, somewhere between 6:30 and 7. Just cause. This morning, 8:30, which gave me time to plan out this or to prep up for this. But I had kind of gotten used to having I'd kind of gotten used to having that extra hour in the morning, and not having it meant that my morning kind of just turned into prepping up for this and then doing this. Cat. I don't have a cat. I used to save all of my old socks with holes in them to use as rags. But then I realized after a while that I didn't need that many rags. Why would I know people who have cats? It's such a rare thing. There's a little black fleck in my whipped cream, and I'm wondering if that's come from the whisk. There's several little black flecks in my whipped cream. That's not what I wanted to see. So I can't get one of them out of there. I don't know. They don't have any structure to them. Unless they're bubbles. No, they're like little... Hold on. I've got to get one of these out of here. That. What is that? It's nothing. But it's visible. It must have been something that was stuck on the whisk or the bowl that I couldn't see until I agitated it like this. Because both the whisk and the bowl were clean. Anyways, our whipped cream is whipped cream. We're going for stiff peaks, which we got. Bring back our stuff. So we've got our brown goo, and now we've got our white goo, and the plan is to combine the goo So we take our white goo, this is why I was trying to avoid adding a bunch of cream to the blender, and I ended up needing some just to lubricate. But we add our goo to our other goo, and the white goo is a emulsion of water and air. So we don't want to knock the air out of it too much. So we're gently cutting through it, around it, and folding together, because I want to get the air in there with it. And when you're doing this, you always want to put the whipped cream on top of the whatever you're mixing it into. Because if you put the heavier thing on top of the whipped cream, the weight of it will literally push the air out, and you'll get a partially deflated whipped cream. We're doing this until we have no streaks, so I have to make sure to get to the very bottom and fold. It's already looking better. It's already looking less like poo. Let's scrape us down a little bit. Mm-hmm. It looks a lot like a chocolate mousse at this point. It looks like a mousse. We're going for a mousse, which is the point. This is okay. Our color's nice and even. We definitely lost a little bit of volume, but we also didn't lose all of it. So I'm happy enough with our performance there. Now, you're supposed to, and this is another part we're going to have to shortcut. I will admit, I skipped one of the steps on the baguette because it was another hour-long rest in between dividing it and forming it into logs. Speaking of baguette, let's take a peek at them. You're supposed to let any pate or liver mousse rest for 6 hours with no contact with the air. We're not doing that, but I am going to Dread! Look, I made a brown goo. It's delicious brown goo. I did just get a new spatula out. I shouldn't have put my other spatula in the sink, but I did, and now it's all wet. Don't be fooled by the brown goo. It's not chocolate. It is really tasty, though. I've licked my fingers a couple of times in the process, and this is a lot of work. I'm not going to lie that this is something that you should all try at home, because this is definitely quite a lot of effort. But so far, the results are extremely promising. I got some new emotes. Oh, becoming a peep is why I'm putting it in a bag. So that I can pipe it Someone said I should do an emote of taking notes, since I spout information all the time. Okay, that's the thing. I am going to let it rest up in the fridge just a bit. Because now I've got a question. I've got a question for you. You personally, the one who is viewing now. Peeps, your traditional marshmallow peep, it's a little chicken flavored, it's a little chicken shaped thing, and it's just marshmallow, but it's covered in colored sugar, and it's got little eyes on it. What would be the little bunny shapes too? I'm making bird shaped ones, but what could be a coating? That's what I've been mulling over, and I haven't settled on anything. A powdered something. Sizan suggested, and this was a good idea, that the eyes could be peppercorns. Little individual peppercorns. Now, there's no pepper in it at the moment, so that would be a counterpoint, although whole peppercorns are pretty gnarly to bite down on. Did I miss a moisten? I may have been distracted and missed a moisten. Oh, yep. I think so. Sesame seeds. Ooh. Now, I'm not going to get full coverage. But we could also do a blend. Dredd, are you okay? Sesame seeds for eyes. Ooh. Sesame seeds are quite a bit smaller. I've got toasted sesame seed. I feel like Dread might be having a stream delay. I don't know. They might be too small. They might be too small. Poppy seed. I don't have any poppy seeds, and those would be even smaller. Oh, we have an ad running. So I was thinking, because Peeps are typically brightly colored with yellow or pink, that a brightly colored powder on the outside might they put peppercorns in fresh sauerkraut, and a lot of preparations that need time to develop. Well, the pepper would just be decorative on these, just something for the eyes. But I was thinking of colored powders. I've got smoked paprika. I've also got regular paprika, which would give us a nice bright color on the outside. I'm also going to turn my oven on. Let's see. We got it. The baguettes are coming up. Um, um, well, I was going to do them all the same color. We could try doing more than one color. I also think turmeric might be too assertive of a flavor to have that much of it in there. And in its powdered form, it's orange, but it doesn't have quite the vibrancy um, as it does when you put it into something. So I was reading ahead about the. I also don't want to go nuts with the flavor, because the flavor of the actual stuff underneath is pretty good. So let's go with some smoked paprika, which has its nice bright red. The smoked stuff especially has this nice bright red color, even dry. You know, I've got tomato powder. I finally found, well, it's tomato with a little bit of chicken bouillon in it, because I couldn't find straight tomato. I've been trying to find straight tomato powder for ages. Um, I'm hesitant to use too much salt on the outside because I don't want to over salt it, but it doesn't seem like it's very salty, so I'm going to grind up some salt. and some sesame seeds. Okay, got a nice sort of orange powder that curry. Ooh. I do love a good curry. Don't do all the same. Okay, I can try doing a couple different ones. I wasn't planning on making a ton of these things. I think Dredd was just talking about their own upcoming foods. Okay, well, or Dredd's having well, you're right. We're not far from curry, because now I've gone turmeric and salt. And a little bit of coriander. The coriander actually might be good as a as an eyes too. Uh, yeah, I almost always have snacks when I'm watching Twitch, so I guess I didn't occur to me. But yeah, I know people watch in all sorts of places. Okay, that's two colors. The turmeric made my fingers go heckin' orange. Should I try? Should I try pink, or is red and yellow good enough? Salt actually brightened up the. I'm getting really low on coriander. The salt actually brightened up the color of the turmeric a lot. it's much whiter or much yellower from adding the white to it. I've got time to think, so we can stop and think. I was planning on making a set of them, and they typically come in a set of 4 Peeps. So I was planning on making. Also, I've only got this much stuff, so I can't make a ton. So is that going to be enough powder for 4 Peeps? Probably. Probably. I'm going to say that's going to be enough powder for 4. We're not going to get nice even coverage because I don't have the big industrial machine that puts the Peeps through a tornado of powdered granulated sugar. Because fun fact, that's how they do that. That's how they get that perfect coverage. They put the poor little marshmallows through giant crazy blowers in order to get even coverage. I used to like Peeps, like the real ones, not these crazy things that I'm making. Um, then I gradually stopped liking them. Okay, I'm going to do 2 with coriander eyes and 2 with peppercorn eyes. Since the sesame seeds are a little bit too small for eyes. Okay, those are our decorating things. How are the baguettes? Ooh, actually, they're looking pretty good. They they're supposed to rest another 15 minutes before I put them in the oven. Which would give us time to try shaping the Peeps. It would also give me perhaps time to put a dent in this absolute disaster area I've created. You guys can't see it. You guys cannot see it, but well, here, maybe you can. Behold, my sink and my rambling dishes that are spilling over onto the table. Why I keep this angled up a bit so you can't quite tell. Uh, yeah. Now there's here, I know what I'll do. Yeah. We made a dish pile today. Uh, some of these are gonna have to soak. Some of these probably should have already been soaking. I used all of my spatulas on various things. It's exciting. It's exciting. There's serving suggestions for chicken liver mousse. Served with crusty baguette, which we have coming. Chestnut honey, which I don't have. Toasted hazelnuts, which I don't have. Thinly sliced radishes, which I don't have. And fresh parsley, which I have. We've got one. But the fact that it suggests honey and nuts as an accompaniment and radish and herbs. I've got nuts. I don't have hazelnuts, but I've got nuts. We've previously discussed the nuts. So I'm going to break out some of my vast supply of nuts, and I'm going to toast up some almonds. Put the nuts back in the nut hole. The nut hole. It's the hole where the nuts are kept. Yes. If I was going to serve these, first of all, if I was going to serve this stuff in a sane way, it would be in a little pot like this, and not in the shape of a peep. But then it would be as part of a charcuterie. Or, as the kids call it, a shark coochie. So we're toasting up some almonds. I have some very weird honey. It's this. It started out life as whipped honey, and it has separated a layer of liquid honey at the top. I'm going to have it handy, but I'm not going to dig it out until I'm more certain. Ears. I think they're going to be there for the almonds are going to be for serving, not for decorating the things. Or a nest. Oh, that's something. Oh, that's an idea. That's an idea. Would that be too much work? That might be too much work. Oh, we're gonna moisten. Moist. When toasting nuts, keep an eye on them. They will go from not cooked to burnt as fast as you can blink. In fact, I should get a dish out to hold on to them. Our baguette are coming up to their appointed time. I feel like I've made them slightly weirdly shaped. They're nice and dry on the surface now. They're not sticky anymore. And they've smoothed out and poofed up just a bit. You're supposed to get to the point where they look less dense, but they're never going to double in size at this point. They've been through the ringer too many times. And now I'm supposed to get a cast iron pan. Ugh. This is for the baguette. A cast iron pan full of water. And put it in the bottom of my oven. I can smell the almonds, so we're getting close. Okay. Now the baguettes are on the sheet that I'm going to want to bake them on, so I have to get them off of there without damaging them. Done. Put down some baking parchment on the pan. Aha! They're toasty, which means we are taking them off, because if they are any longer, they will burn. And they are hot, hot, hot. Nuts don't look like they're doing anything when you're cooking them, but they get hot, hot, hot. Okay, back over here. Let's move these powders before I stain my towel. Our baguettes are in their little bed, and we're going to wake them up, these lazy breads. You've been resting all morning, and it's time for work. Okay. Okay. Get that towel in the laundry right away, because it's covered in flour. Oh, I used my little razor sharp knife to clean the Okay, I need to wash a knife real quick. Because I need my sharpest knife for this, and my sharpest knife was used on the livers at the very beginning. So I need to wash it, dry it, and then use it here. Since I'm washing it, I'm going to wash the liver pan or the liver board as well, because it's taking up space that needs to be something else. Should have washed it right away. Because it was the raw meat board. But I didn't. So go back to the very beginning. For those of you following along at home, go back to the very beginning, and as soon as you're done cutting your livers, wash the board and the knife. You're going to need them later. Okay. Okay. Sharpest knife in the drawer, indeed. Because I don't have a baker's lame, which is apparently a knife for doing this. And the purpose of the slits, you'll see this in a lot of breads. The purpose of the slits is to, oh, an ad's about to start, so I'll get these in the oven. The bread will try to expand in the oven. And if you don't give it a split, a gap like that, it will expand wherever the weakest point on the bread is and just tear open. Selena was here earlier. Lurking. Lurking. So you give it the little slits in the top to give it a place to expand. Okay. Making noms is strongly, strongly recommended. I'm doing it. This isn't really going to be a full meal. But that's okay, because you'll remember I mentioned earlier, my neighbor was grilling last night, and I was out talking to him. Well, I mentioned that I had extra. The baguette should be in there for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So my target of 1 o'clock has been missed. Need to pick out a plate. because I won't be able to move these things very well once they're. Yes, the barbecue. Um, I mentioned while I was out there with him that I had some chicken thighs that I hadn't used up. They were frozen together into a block, and he said, "Grab them." I threw them on the grill. He grilled them up for me, and he gave them back to me. So I've got grilled uh, chicken thighs, slow, smoky grilled, because he's got like a homemade smoker. It was an ad play. With his own seasoning blend and sauced them up. So I'm not worried about not having a full meal of Peeps because I've got homemade barbecue ready to rock. Um, he's a cool guy. Is he back there right now? Oh, he is. While we while we were story time. While we were out there grilling, some people walked by in the alley, and he just said, "Hey, you want some chicken?" And he gave them. One of them said, "No, no." The other one said, "Sure." He just gave him a chicken thigh right off the grill. I was thinking about plates. What do you think? Good plate? Or is it too close to the color of the stuff? Is it too close to the color of the stuff? It's the same color. Hmm. Plating is going to be hard because of what these things are. I kind of want to put them on something that I can then put into another container to seal up. Like a little cardboard. Hmm. Hmm. Just rummaging. Just rummaging. We're gonna have to go with a white plate, I think. Um, Trouble is, they're not going to. This stuff is too much of a paste. They're not going to be able to get picked up and moved around once they're set. What do we have? What do we have? Aluminum ginkgo leaf? They'll get caught in those little ridges for sure. Uh, I just picked up a new dish. I got these. They're not quite. I always look for those for uh, like ramen soup spoons when I'm at Goodwill, and I never find them. These are the closest I've ever come, and they're They're close, but they're so round. I think they'd be good for like a cute service. You could put an oyster in there. Um, I'm using that plate. That's the plate. I've decided. We've got a moment to waste. No, we don't. I need to pipe these the peeps out. Which means I need a scissors, which means I need to go in the front again. Okay. Moment of truth. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. There you go. Let's see if we can't do this. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, they're too sticky to move. I'm gonna have to shape them a little bit to get the noses on them. They are. The real ones are extruded into the perfect little chick shape. Hmm. What do you mean eat them with a fork? They are too squishy to pick up. But that's the I knew that was going to be. You thought I was going to eat these like pick them up? No, 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 no. That was never the plan. I knew these were going to be way too squishy to ever pick up. I've said it at least twice while I was prepping the plate. That they're whatever plate they go on, that's where they're staying because they're going to be much too squishy to move. Like we would have to let this stuff rest for hours and hours to get it firm enough. And even then, I think it would be too squishy. They're um they're light and fluffy, but they're squishy. I'm gonna attempt another one. You were gone. How dare you? I'm gonna attempt another one. A little bit better, I think. Nope, nope. Well, they're hard to extrude. That's what the big machines are for, I guess. I will say, I've been tasting these just because I get them on my hand as I go. This stuff is very tasty. I'll tell you about it. So it's light and creamy and fluffy. It honestly has a texture not unlike marshmallow fluff. And it's got this light creaminess from the whipped cream. Um, and it's got a honestly a fairly subtle savory meatiness to it. Do they not look that great? I'm not gonna lie, they don't look that great. Serving liver pate in this shape, not Not the most appealing appearance. It tastes great though. I think if it was served as in the normal way of a pate, uh, they'd be less averse to them. But honestly, it tastes great. I'm surprised by this part. The lemon, that dried up lemon that I zested in there, really makes itself known. But yeah, they really look that bad. They kind of look like turds on a plate. I couldn't get the shape right, and not really anything I could do about that. The eyes will help too. They'll make it a. Oh, shoot. Hmm. Well, I guess that guy's keeping his coriander eyes. The coriander eyes don't really stand out. I'm sure they would taste nicer, but they're too close to the color of the paste and they kind of disappear into it. So we're going with the peppercorns for visibility. I mean, they're okay. They probably would pass inspection at the Peeps factory. I've seen some of those Peeps with the the way they just kind of good enough them. The eyes definitely help. I kind of want to do one by itself and see if I can't get the shape a little bit better. Um, but I would serve this to people. This maybe not in that form, but the stuff. Oop. Oh, okay. Okay. That one was much easier to pipe. And it's because it was less firm. So I think refrigerating it was a mistake. Well, this is it looks like a yeah. Okay. I know what it looks like. I'm not fooling myself. This is a suboptimal way to serve liver mousse. This stuff, though, let me tell you about this stuff. It's something I want to do again, despite how much work it was. It's really tasty. Um, it's tasty enough that it makes me want to make it again and serve it to people. Although, perhaps in a little, the bread is not quite done. No, it's almost. Almost. Um, I'm getting some of my dishes started by just soaking them in some hot water. Uh, but I would definitely be proud to serve this stuff, not in this shape, but the stuff, to people on like a charcuterie spread, or put this on a banh mi. It's so soft and tender. Tender isn't even the right word for it. It's like, well, it's like the consistency of a chocolate mousse, but it's flavored like cream and just a little bit of this sort of meatiness to it. Um, let's go take some cursed pictures of these cursed things before I mush them up. I made more than I was expecting to. Um, I used most of my stuff to make these. But we will take some. Okay. Yeah, they're. I think if I had a high power blender, like a really high power blender, and a proper French sieve, I think I could have forced a even smoother texture. I think that's part of what's holding me back is they're not marshmallowy smooth. I'm taking lots of pictures of various angles. See if I can't get one that's good. I actually think yeah, I actually think that this guy on this side has the best overall form. I think I understand why Peeps are covered in bright colored sugar. Because without that, they look kind of awful. They look kind of like turds. Okay, okay. Oh, Okay. The time has come. Oh, real steamy in there. Behold. I said, behold. Baguette. Now these look great. I'm gonna leave that pan of water in there for a bit. These look great. These came out just perfectly. We're gonna let them cool off just a little bit before I do anything to them. But yeah, these came out great. I think I shaped this guy weird. He's got kind of nodules at the end. The middle one and that one look really good to me. They're a little bit too hot to do anything with just yet. But I would love to see the inside. How long are they supposed to rest? Because they're going back to sleep. They're skinny, so they don't need as much as a big... Oh, okay, well... The instruction says, let them... Okay, remove them from the oven and let them cool on a rack. Or, for the very crispiest baguettes, turn off the oven, crack it open 2 inches, and allow it and the baguettes to cool completely to room temperature. We're not doing that. We're taking them off of there and putting them on a cooling rack. But if you want the fullness of your baguette experience, do that thing I just said. Okay, yeah. See, this one definitely had some shaping issues. The seam kind of popped open on it. That one looks great. And that one also had a little bit of a seam pop. So the shaping is my weakness for sure. But they came out beautifully. For a first try, for a first ever try at baguette, I think they came out actually beautifully. They're not crackling. Sometimes when I take bread out of the oven, it's so crispy on the outside that it's crackling. These guys are too hot to do anything with just yet. But it shouldn't take too long for them to be down to the point where I can get in there, get all up in their business. I'm going to quickly scrub down this board. Okay. This has been a long one today. Oh, we have another ad coming up. So I will break into the baguettes once we are through this upcoming ad, which is now just saying starting soon, and won't let me skip it because it's too close. Yeah, because it's already triggered the cycle. So we've got toasted nuts. We've got a little bit of honey. Ooh, I could do radish. I don't have red radish, but I think I've got daikon. Red. You need to move. I should take a picture of the baguettes too. Good time for it. Okay, they will rest there. Some thinly sliced radish, which, having tasted some of these things already, will be an actually important element to balancing it out. Because it is savory and creamy. Although I haven't tasted it with the spice powders on the top. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost wrapped up. We're almost doing it. We've almost succeeded. Plunk those there. Okay, 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 okay. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. We're back from our ad. So let's grab one of these baguette. Taking the skinny one. And moment of truth. Find out what they look like. It's already cool enough to touch. So these nice skinny it's very crusty on the outside. Nice and tender on the inside. Oh, it smells lovely too. Smells like bread. Not much more I can say than it smells like bread, but oh, it's that lovely fresh bread smell. Now I want to taste this naked because a good baguette should be good just by itself. God damn, I'm good. Mmm, that's lovely. Oh man, I could just eat that by itself. Oh, I could just eat that by itself. We didn't come here to eat this by itself. We came here to eat this with a peep. Let's look at how soft this paste is. Mmm. Mmm. Oh man. Okay. Okay. It might just because I'm hungry, but oh damn. Oh damn. I'm gonna do exactly what you said right there. Take a picture with the peep on the toast. Oh damn, this is a oh kids, kids, I think we got a winner. I think we got a winner. Oh, it's savory and it's got just a little bit of that sort of liver flavor, but it's so light and creamy. It just melts in your mouth. It just melts in your mouth. And the lemon is very noticeable. I'm gonna have to taste the turmeric one just to see if that turmeric has affected it at all. But the smoked paprika one, I'm not being overwhelmed with smoked paprika. The dusting on the outside is just color. Mm. I need to share this with somebody. This is really, this is really good. I can try to bring them along. I'm always afraid because our dungeon master is a vegetarian. Um, so I'm a little afraid of bringing a meat-based tasty delight. No, Louis not grilling right now. He's probably sleeping. He works nights a lot, so then he sleeps during the day a lot. So it's always a treat when I get to see him because he's so often disappeared. I crunched into the peppercorn eye on the end of that last one, and it gave me a wonderful little sharp bite right at the tail end of it. Oh man! So we're trying it with the turmeric one, which should be very similar, but let's find out. Hmm? That one's noticeable. Turmeric gives it a little bit of, not real strong, but just a little bit. Mm. Boy, they look a mess, don't they? They look super cursed, but I think that is well worth the 3.5 hours of work. Ooh, hummus. Okay. 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 I'm just kind of just eating and going now. But, ooh. And I made them. I prepped them. We're going to try one more bite. No, I'm not just eating because I love this so much. We're going to take our actually no, I'm going to take my piping bag directly. Pipe some right onto that toast right there. So I called it toast. It's not toast. It's baguette. But we're going to add some toasted almonds, a sliver of daikon, and a drizzle of honey. This one's real good. Um, okay, down the hatch. Mm. I'm not gonna lie, that's a good combination, but I don't think the stuff needs it. I don't think the stuff needs it. It's a good combination, and if I was having a big plate of this, that would be good things to accompany it. But I don't think it needs it. This has enough going on and is tasty enough. Okay, we should wrap up. I've been going long. We had a long one today, so we should wrap it up. Yeah, I agree. The appearance is so not good. Trying to make them peep shaped was the thing that really brought it down. That's not gonna disagree with you there. Um, I'm honestly probably not going to keep them peep shaped. I'm gonna we've done this. I'm gonna scrape them off and put them in a jar as a paste. Um, I think that'll first of all they'll keep. They won't because they're out, exposed to the air like this. They're gonna go bad real fast. So they got to be in a container where I can get most of the air away from them. So sad, but also they're kind of ugly. Um, I'm not fooling. They're kind of ugly. Um, um, wow, that name. Sophisma cognoscente. Yeah, they don't look They look like they're begging me to be put out of their misery. The lone naked one on the plate at least has pretty good shape to him. But yeah, I think keeping them peep shaped is a dream, unless I wanted to eat them all right now, which I shouldn't do because there's a lot of butter and cream in there. We're gonna raid. We're gonna go on a raid. I know exactly who I'm raiding this time. We're gonna go raid Sal, who I believe is currently actually part-time triggered right now. Sal and part-time triggered have been raising money. Sal, I don't know, none of you probably know. Some of you probably know. Sal moved to Australia last year, and her dog had to stay in England. So Sal and Mork are raising money to fund getting their adorable dog Gilly from England to Australia. So we are going to go raid that. They've been doing a streamathon for. I first saw them doing it on Thursday night. So they've been going for a while. But we're gonna go spread the love to Sal and Mork. It's the middle of the night in Australia, so Sal's in bed and Mork's got the reins right now. Goldie, thank you for lurking. We've got a new lurk emote, so you can lurk and be emotive about it. Well, glad you've been here. I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat and say that these peeps came out looking fantastic. They definitely look like little poops on a plate. But the taste is so good. The taste is so good. And the baguette was super good too. The baguette came out so well. I'm very happy about that. I will have to practice making more baguette in the future. It was real easy. It was honestly not that hard. But yes, I will be back next week. Actually, I said I was going to be back tomorrow. I will attempt to be back tomorrow for Easter dinner. But if I don't, I'll be back next week. Bye. Bye.